all clear with Anthony Richardson's hand, right? After everything last night?
It sounds like it dislocated pinky. I think that last night probably raises, as you were documenting off the top of the show, some other questions with regard to Anthony Richardson. Now, he had a really good practice in the joint practices with the Ravens a couple of days ago. It was one of the more encouraging moments that he's had through the course of the offseason. Made people believe, okay, you can see this thing maybe tracking in the right direction with Anthony Richardson at a time that, to be quite honest, he basically got to overtake Daniel Jones for his own job, because Jones was the one who was there and healthy through the course of the spring. Anthony Richardson was rehabbing that shoulder issue. Now, Daniel Jones obviously got a lot of the reps last night. Shane Steichen said he's got to recalibrate in terms of his plan for how they're going to handle things with regard to the quarterback reps through the rest of the preseason here. Richardson has work cut out, and the biggest thing that Daniel Jones has going for him is get the ball to the right. With Anthony Richardson, you still have those questions just based on the inexperience, whether he's going to be able to do that on a consistent basis.
All right, Tom Pelissero here on the Rich Eisen Show. Just across the street yesterday, the biggest injury to date of the NFL season, Rashawn Slater goes down, and so he's done for the year, correct? And then on top of that, what does this mean? Joe Alt now moves over. What do you think Jim's plan is here to replace one of the best, and obviously the best paid, and recently so, left tackle in the business? Tom.
Well, first of all, if you question ever why some players hold out, hold in, refuse to participate in practice until they get their deal, a left tackle just having a freak injury and tearing his patella in practice is a pretty good argument for why Rashawn Slater didn't do a whole lot in the early stages of training camp. Obviously, just a brutal blow for the Chargers. Joe Alt, that is the logical plan. My understanding is that is definitely a strong consideration to flip him to left tackle here. You have Jamari Sawyer, who was a starter before Joe Alt got to L.A. That would be one other option. They got some veterans like Trey Pipkins. You're protecting Justin Herbert. I mean, that's your most valuable guy. That's the one that Jim Harbaugh said repeatedly here in the preseason. Everybody's got to get up to Justin Herbert's level. Now, all of a sudden, you take away his left tackle. The issue is you lose a running back, a receiver, a linebacker. Like, a lot of times you can trade for somebody. You can look at other people's depth. Nobody's given up a left tackle right now. There aren't 32 of those guys walking the planet as it is. People don't even want to trade their swing tackles because things can happen here. The good news is they do have some depth at that spot, and it quite possibly is going to be Joe Alt stepping into a really big role after playing exclusively right tackle, to this point, flipping over to left, and, just kind of being able to patch together the rest of it from there.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.